Welcome back to the channel. You guys, today is a crazy day, and I am just so ready to dive into the absolute madness that just dropped on our screens. Grab a coffee or something stronger because we really need to talk about this mess. Start with Will Spencer and his complete, absolute downward spiral. And honestly, we all saw this coming, didn't we? Will has been a ticking time bomb for weeks now. Between the heavy corporate secrets, the lies, the intense pressure from Katie and Bill, and the fact that Elektra completely abandoned him and sided with RJ. I mean, the guy was already teetering on the edge of a cliff. So he goes on this massive, self-destructive drunken bender. He's wandering around the dark streets, completely out of his mind, just drowning in his own misery and alcohol. And you know how it is when you're that drunk and that heartbroken. You just aren't thinking straight at all. You're just a raw nerve walking around in the dark, looking for something to anchor you. But what happened next? I am still shaking my head. I just can't even process it fully because it is so wild and so destructive. Will ends up running into Eric Forrester. Yes, Eric Forrester, the patriarch, the legend. The man who literally just banished him from the Forrester family property. And Eric, being Eric, tries to shoo Will away. Like he's some kind of stray dog or a nuisance on his shoe. Eric is standing there, probably looking down his nose at this drunk, messy Spencer kid, and he just tries to dismiss him with a wave of his hand. But you guys, Will is not in the right headspace for a condescending lecture or dismissal from Eric Forrester right now. He's just lost everything, his girlfriend, his job, his dignity. And Eric shooing him away, that was the spark that blew up the powder keg. So Will loses control. He completely, utterly loses control of his body and his mind. And he throws a punch. A direct, brutal, violent punch right into Eric Forrester's face. I screamed. I literally screamed at my TV screen. What were they thinking? You do not punch Eric Forrester. The man is an elderly icon. He's the grandfather of the show, and Will just clocks him. It wasn't a push, it wasn't a shove, it was a full-on, closed-fist punch directly to the face. I know Will has been violent lately. I mean, we all saw him beat RJ to a pulp at the beach house a few episodes ago, but this is a whole different level of unhinged behavior. And the immediate aftermath was just terrifying to watch. Eric falls unconscious immediately. He just drops, like a stone hitting the pavement. It was so hard to watch, you guys. You see this proud, iconic man just crumble to the floor because of this stupid, drunken kid's blind rage. And it's not just a knockout punch, the stress, the shock, the physical trauma. It triggers a severe heart attack in Eric. He is rushed to the in critical condition. Paramedics rushing in, sirens blaring, the whole dramatic soap opera medical emergency sequence. But it felt so real and so incredibly raw this time. Fans on social media are losing their minds right now. Everyone is terrified that the writers are actually going to kill off Eric Forrester this time. We've had health scares before with him, but a violent assault leading to a massive heart attack, that is dark. That is so dark. Then we get to the hospital waiting room, and oh my god, the tension in that room was thick enough to cut with a knife. Ridge Forrester is there, and he is absolutely furious. I mean, Ridge is seeing red, pacing the floors, looking like he wants to murder someone with his bare hands. His father is hovering between life and death on a ventilator in the next room, and the kid who put him there is sitting right there in the waiting room. So what does Ridge do? He calls the cops. He furiously calls the police and has his own nephew arrested right then, and they're in the middle of the hospital. Seeing Will in handcuffs in the middle of the hospital waiting room was a visual I won't forget anytime soon. The police literally reading him his Miranda rights while the doctors are fighting to save Eric's life just down the hall. And part of me is like, Yes, Will absolutely deserves to be arrested for assaulting an elderly man. But then another part of me, and maybe I'm being too harsh on Ridge here, but let's be real, Ridge is a massive hypocrite. Didn't Ridge literally just punch Bill Spencer in the face last week? Like, physical violence is practically a standard greeting for the Forrester men. But when a Spencer does it, suddenly it's a severe criminal offense that requires immediate police intervention and handcuffs. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. The double standard is just glaring, and it makes me want to pull my hair out. But let's talk about Will for a second, because as much as I am disgusted by what he did, the scenes of him breaking down were honestly heart-wrenching. The alcohol is finally wearing off. The cold reality of what he just did is crashing down on him, and he completely breaks down in absolute remorse. He is sobbing. He is shaking in those handcuffs. He knows he might have just killed his Uncle Eric. He knows he has completely ruined his own life. It's just a tragic, tragic situation. You look at him, and you don't see a cold-blooded monster. You see a broken, stupid, lost kid who made the absolute worst mistake of his entire life, and he's going to pay for it. He is really, really going to pay for it. And just when you thought the hospital scenes couldn't get any more intense, in walks Dollar Bill Spencer. Oh boy, Bill Spencer arrives, and he is a literal force of nature. He sees his son in handcuffs, he hears that Ridge called the cops on his boy, and Bill absolutely loses his mind. He doesn't care that Eric is in the ICU fighting for his life. He doesn't care about the optics of yelling in a hospital. All he sees is his boy being hauled off to jail by the Forresters, and his paternal instincts just override everything else. Bill declares, right there in the middle of the hospital corridor, that he will level Forrester Creations to the ground if his son goes to jail. He screams it at Ridge. The veins in his neck were popping out, and you know Bill means it. This isn't just empty corporate threats. Bill has the money, the power, and the sheer ruthlessness to completely destroy Forrester Creations brick by brick. He's already riding high on the success of the Logan fashion show launch. He's got the hope for the future diamond. And now he has a deeply personal vendetta that involves his son's freedom and future. The Spencer versus Forrester war just went nuclear. It's not about dresses and catwalks and fashion reviews anymore. It is about blood, assault charges, and prison time. And honestly, I don't know who to root for here anymore. Bill is defending his son, which any father would do, but Will did commit a violent crime. Ridge is defending his father, which is entirely valid, but Ridge is also using this tragedy to completely crush the Spencers once and for all. It's just so messy. It is so incredibly messy. A massive legal war erupts almost instantly. Lawyers are being called on speed dial. Threats are being thrown back and forth in the sterile hospital corridors. It's chaotic. It feels like a first draft of a war movie that just never got edited down. It's just raw, unfiltered anger everywhere you look. And while Eric is literally hovering between life and death, we have Steffy Forrester Finnegan stepping into the ring. And you guys, Steffy is taking no prisoners this time. Steffy is already so traumatized and volatile right now. She's dealing with Hope's massive corporate betrayal, the death of the HFTF line, the media nightmare surrounding her family's company. And on top of all that, she has Sheila Carter breathing down her neck and Finn making stupid, dangerous promises to his psychopathic mother. Steffy is at her absolute breaking point. She is a live wire. So when Steffy finds out that Will punched her grandfather and put him in the hospital, she snaps. She completely and totally snaps. But she doesn't just yell or throw things. Steffy uses her grandfather's critical condition to make a massive, unprecedented legal maneuver. She goes to the courts and demands a permanent restraining order. But wait, it's not just against Will. Oh no? Steffy demands a permanent restraining order against the entire Spencer family. Let that sink in for a second. The entire Spencer family. Bill, Wyatt, Liam, Will, all of them banned from coming anywhere near the Forresters or Forrester creations ever again. I mean, how is that even going to work in reality? Liam is the father of Steffy's own daughter, Kelly. Liam is the father of Hope's daughter, Beth. How can you legally ban an entire family from your life when your family trees are this intertwined? It is a logistical nightmare and a legal overreach of epic proportions, but Steffy doesn't care. She is operating on pure, unadulterated grief and rage. She just wants them gone. Steffy is weaponizing Eric's heart attack to completely sever all ties with the Spencers. She wants them eradicated from their lives like a virus. And honestly, can you blame her psychology right now? From her perspective, the Spencers just steal their employees, steal their designs, lie to their faces, and now they are physically assaulting their elders in the street. Steffy sees them as a plague. But this restraining order, it is going to cause so much collateral damage. What about Katie? She's a Logan, but her son is a Spencer and the one in handcuffs. What about Brooke? She's married to Ridge, but her daughter is tied to Liam. The family tree is a tangled, complicated mess, and Steffy is just taking a chainsaw to the trunk of it. This entire situation has pushed the relationship between the two families into an unsalvageable abyss. There is no coming back from this. None. Zero. You can forgive corporate espionage after a few years. You can even forgive cheating and messy divorces. They do it all the time on this show. But you cannot forgive someone putting the beloved patriarch of your family into a coma with a violent, drunken assault. The bridge isn't just burned. It's been blown up, vaporized, completely wiped off the map. There is a dark, empty crater where the Forrester and Spencer relationship used to be. And what about Elektra in all of this? She abandoned Will when he needed her most, and now he's ruined his life because he couldn't handle the rejection and the secrets. Does she feel guilty? Or is RJ just whispering in her ear right now, telling her she dodged a massive bullet? RJ has been so manipulative lately, capitalizing on Will's downfall to secure his own romantic victory. I bet RJ is secretly thrilled that Will is in handcuffs, even if it means his grandfather is in the hospital fighting for his life. Okay, maybe that's too dark for RJ, but you know what I mean. The opportunism is just gross, and I hate watching it unfold like this. I just don't know where we go from here. You guys, every single character is pushed to their absolute limit. Hope is dealing with her own crushing guilt over the fashion show. Brooke is on a wellness retreat, completely oblivious to the fact that her entire family is imploding back home, and Finn is probably going to use this hospital chaos to sneak Sheila into the Cliff House while Steffy is distracted with lawyers. It's a disaster, a beautiful, tragic, messy, compelling disaster. I am exhausted just talking about it. My fingers are cramping from typing this out so fast, but you know I'll be glued to my screen tomorrow to see if Eric pulls through. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I am just at a total loss for words today.